Hello everyone, welcome to my another lecture of the topic composition of function. Here in this lecture, I will try to explain that the composition of any two one-on function is also one. That means whenever we will compose two functions f and g, suppose f and g are both 1, then their composition f not g or g not f will be considered as a one-on function. So the question will be like that. So let us consider two functions f from a to b and g from b to c. B to one-on functions, correct? B to one-on function. Both of them are one-on function. One-on function means what? F and g both are one-on function. What does it mean actually? What is the general condition to be satisfied by a function to be one-on? That means if we consider any two different elements from this set, suppose x1 and x2, if the elements are different, then their corresponding images should be different. F of x1, f of x2. Correct? This is the main condition. Distinct element we have distinct images. Here, as f and g are two different elements, actually one-on functions, that's why their distinct element should have distinct images. And we have considered f and g are two one-on functions. That is, f of x1 equal to f of x2. If the image of two elements are equal to be 1, that is x1 equal to x2. These two conditions are satisfied by the function. Similarly, g of x1 is equal to g of x2 implies x1 equal to x2. This is the main condition to be satisfied to be a one-on function. Eta function যদি 1 on হয় তেতিয়াহলে এইটা কন্ডিশন স্যাটিসফাই কৰিব for all x1 x2 belongs to a and for all x1 x2 belongs to b here, because f and g are 1 that's why these two conditions must be satisfied. This condition should be satisfied by f and this condition should be satisfied by b. Now what you have to show that? We have to show that then their composition g not f is a function from f is a function from a to b and g is a function from b to c. Then their composition g not f must be a function from a to c is also 1. We have to show this. Now listen, what is the main condition? How can we proceed or how can we check the injectivity of any function? How many elements we have to consider? We have to consider two elements from this set. I mean, দুটা element is set to domain পৰা consider কৰিব লাগে, and we have to assume that their images are seen. If after having the simplification we can easily prove that x1 is equal to x2, that these elements are also equal, then the function will be considered as 1. So here also we will consider two elements, that x1, x2 belongs to a, such that consider কৰা হৈছে that g naught f of x1 is equal to g naught f of x1. Are you getting my point? What we have to show that? We have to show that their composition is 1. That means we will consider two different elements from their domain, and we have considered that their images are also equal. G naught f of x1 is equal to g naught f of x2. To be 1, what is the main condition? x1 should be equal to x2. So g of f of x1 from the definition of composite function f of x. Now observe carefully. Z we can easily consider this one as a domain element. Suppose z of x1, z of x2. These two elements are different. Z of f of x1 equal to z of f of x2. If we consider this one as z and this one as x, whole this expression will be considered as x. Suppose z of x1 equal to z of x2. As the function z is 1, that means is satisfies this condition. That means z of x1 is equal to z of x2 always implies x1 equal to x2. That means this one is x1 for us now and this one is x2 for us. That means we can easily write down f of x1 equal to f of x2. Why? Z is 1. Am I correct? Z is 1. As z is 1, so g of f of x1 is equal to f of x1 and g of f of x2 equal to f of x2. This is the condition. That means x1, g of x1, here x1 is equal to f of x1. Again, f of x1 equal to f of x2. As f is 1, what is the condition to be satisfied? F of x1 equal to f of x2 always implies x1 equal to x2. Correct? Why? As f is 1. Now, what we have got? We have got that If we consider any two arbitrary element from the first set, that is domain, and if we assume that their images are same under a composite function z naught f of x1 equal to z naught f of x2, then we have got that. What we have got? We have got that their images are also equal. This is nothing but the condition of one. As z naught f of x1 equal to z naught f of x2 implies x1 equal to x2 for all x1, x2 belongs to এত থকা প্ৰত্যেকটো এলিমেন্টৰ কাৰণে হ'ব লাগিব যদি দুটা এলিমেন্টৰ ইমেজ কিটা সেম হৈছে তেনহলে কৰেসপন্ডিং এলিমেন্ট কিটাও সেম হ'ব লাগিব therefore z naught f is 1 1 or you can say that composition of two 1 function is always 1. Now let us try to prove that composition of two onto function is also onto. We are going to prove this. Composition of two onto function is also onto. Here we have got the composition of two onto. We have considered two different 1 functions. We have to show that their composition is also 1. So we have considered two different elements from the domain of the composition, and we have assumed that z naught f of x1 equal to z naught f of x2. After having the simplification with proper reasoning, we have got that x1 equal to x2. That means what? The function z naught f is 1. That means composition of two 1 function is always 1 1. Now we are going to prove that composition of two onto function is also onto. Composition of two onto function is also two onto function is also onto. We have to prove that. Okay, onto. First of all, what is the definition of onto function? Okay, f is a function from a to b and this is a function from b to c. Both are onto functions. R2, B2 onto function. Okay, so let us consider a diagram. It will be easier for us then. F is onto means what? What is onto function? All the elements of the second set are related. Or you can say that range is equal to codomain. That means all the elements of the second set are related means if we consider any element from this set, for that element you will have a pre-image here. আমি যদি a2 সেটৰ পৰা কিবা এটা এলিমেন্ট যদি কনসিডাৰ কৰো সেই এলিমেন্টটো কানে কৰেসপন্ডিং তোমালকে ইয়াত এটা প্ৰি-ইমেজ পাবা এটা ফাংচনটো অনটো হয় that means all the elements are related কিবা এটা পাবা তাৰ কৰেসপন্ডিং কিবা এটা পাবা suppose under the function f y the image of x let us consider a function g from b to c as g is onto then for each and every element of the second set c থকা প্ৰত্যেকটো এলিমেন্টৰ কাৰণে there will pre-imaging b এটা প্ৰি-ইমেজ পাম suppose g কাৰণে যদি y2 ইমেজ z হয় আমি z ৰ কাৰণে কি পাম y পাম now what you have to show that your composition that means composition means z naught f is also onto z naught f is also onto means if we consider for the composition function z naught f a is the domain set and c is the codomain set to be onto all the elements of this set should be related under function z naught f z naught f for under ইয়াত থকা প্ৰত্যেকটো এলিমেন্ট ৰিলেটেড হ'ব লাগিব that means ইয়াৰ পৰা যদি আমি এটা arbitrary element consider কৰো সেই arbitrary elementor কাৰণে তোমালকে corresponding এটা element পাব লাগে তেৰা অনটো কব ইয়াৰ পৰা তোমালকে এটা f অনটো মানে ইয়াত থকা যিকোনটা এলিমেন্ট লম corresponding element ইয়াত পাবা g is onto if you consider any arbitrary element from here for that element you will have a pre-image এটা অনটো হ'ব লাগে তেৰা কি হ'ব লাগিব ইয়াত আমি arbitrary element লম তাৰ corresponding pre-image টো পাব লাগিব f পাব লাগিব that means now we are going to explain let f and g be two onto functions okay now we have to show that required to show that z naught f from a to c is what onto that means we have to consider an arbitrary element from set c আমি c for arbitrary element long এই arbitrary element corresponding pre-image to ক'ত পাব লাগিব ইয়াত পাব লাগিব এটা ফাংচন to onto বুলি consider কৰা যাব now we are going to prove step by step okay as f is onto so for each y belongs to b for each y belongs to b প্ৰত্যেকটো y b থকা f টো onto হয় এখানে প্ৰত্যেকটো y কারণে there exists x belongs to a আমি এটা x পাম such that f of x equal to 1 is it correct exactly আমি যেটা অনটো হয় ইয়াত থকা প্ৰত্যেকটো এলিমেন্টৰ কাৰণে আমি ইয়াত কৰেসপন্ডিং x এটা পাম এই যেটো y হয় এটা একচুয়ালি কাৰ ইমেজ হয় x ৰ ইমেজ also z is onto so for each z belongs to c z to onto হয় সেই কাৰণে ইয়াত থকা প্ৰত্যেকটো এলিমেন্টৰ কাৰণে c থকা প্ৰত্যেকটো এলিমেন্টৰ কাৰণে there exist থাকিব কি y belongs to ক'ত থাকিব তুমি ইয়াত z টা কনসিডাৰ কৰিলে তোমালোকে ইয়াত এটা y এটা পাবা belongs to b such that this is nothing but such that okay such that z of y equal to কিমান হয় z হয় আমি ইয়াত এটা z লম তাৰ কৰেসপন্ডিং y এটা পাবা মানে z ললে y পাবা z টো ললে y টো পাবা সেই যেটো z ন সেইটো কাৰ কৰেসপন্ডিং ইমেজ y ইমেজ কাৰ আন্ডাৰত z under that's why I have written g of y equal to z now what we have to show that we are going to consider an element from C and fourth element we have a pre-image in it. Let Z belongs to C. Okay? Z belongs to C. I mean arbitrary element B arbitrary consider position. Now what we have to show that we have to show that for Z we will have a pre-image X such that Z is the image of X. আমি কি দেখাম এই Z টোৰ কাৰণে corresponding pre-image X এটা যে এড পাইছো এটা দেখাব লাগিব আৰু যে যেটো z আছে ন হেতু x ৰ যে ইমেজ এটা ইমপ্ৰুভ কৰি let z belongs to cb arbitrary this is nothing but arbitrary now z naught f of x we are going to prove that is z যেটো আমাৰ arbitrary element ন হেতু যে এই x ৰ যে ইমেজ হয় হেতু বস্তু মই দেখাব গৈছো তাৰমানে x এটা যে আছে এড থকা এড যে x নামৰ এটা এলিমেন্ট আছে যাৰ ইমেজটো যে z হয় হেতু বস্তু মই দেখাব গৈছো কারণ অন্ত হবলে কি হব লাগিব ইয়াত থকা প্ৰত্যেকটো এলিমেন্ট কাৰবাৰ বা কাৰবাৰ ইমেজ হব লাগিব নহয় যিকোনো এলিমেন্ট লোৱা ই কোনবা না কোনবা এলিমেন্টৰ ইমেজ হব লাগিব এটা মই কি দেখাব গৈছো মই দেখি আছো ইয়াত যেটো যে কাৰ ইমেজ হয় x ৰ ইমেজ কাৰ আন্ডাৰ ইয়াৰ আন্ডাৰ তে মই কি z নামৰ আৰবিট্ৰাৰি এলিমেন্ট লম এটা মই এই z টো যে x ৰ ইমেজ হয় মই দেখাই দিম কেনে কি চোৱা g of f of x equal to g of f of x correct f of x means what y am I correct because f of x is y already you have got it f of x equal to y. Again, you have got g of y. What is the value of g of y? Is z. Exactly. The arbitrary element that you have to consider yourself. That you have considered yourself. Tomorrow z to z consider kori loisila. Hey z to actually car image. Extra image. Car under. Z not f under. It is z to arbitrary element. You mono kusi mata dhuri element hai. To me jodi yat z one lo. Then he corresponding x one image hobo. Yat z two lole yat x two image hobo. Z3 loisa he x three image. Namai particular element okane paich ma likha hoise. That's why. As for is z belongs to c there exists x belongs to a so প্ৰত্যেকটো z ৰ কাৰণে c থকা প্ৰত্যেকটো z ৰ কাৰণে মই x এটা বিচাৰি পাইছো such that z not f of x equal to 1 therefore z not f is onto am I correct that means we have got that composition of two onto function is also onto first of all we have to consider two different functions which are onto itself এটো অনটো হোৱাৰ কাৰণে তোমালোকে যদি g2 f2 অনটো আছিল f2 অনটো মানে কি হয় তোমালোকে b পাৰ এটা এলিমেন্ট ললে তোমালোকে a corresponding image এটা পাবা for each y belongs to b there exists x belongs to a such that f of x equal to y z is onto এখানে ইয়াৰ পাৰ এটা এলিমেন্ট ললে ইয়াৰ corresponding element এটাৰ ইমেজ হ'ব সো আমি লিখিছো z belongs to b z belongs to c there exists y belongs to b ইয়াৰ যদি মই এটা এলিমেন্ট লওঁ ইয়াৰ corresponding এটা এলিমেন্ট ইয়াত পাবা such that g of y equal to z এটা মই আমাৰ কম্পোজিট টো অনটো দেখাব লাগে এখানে ইয়াৰ পাটা এলিমেন্ট লম আৰু সেই এলিমেন্ট ইয়াৰ কোনবা এলিমেন্টৰ ইমেজ বুলি মই দেখাই এটা দেখাইছো z belongs to c এটা আৰবিট্ৰাৰি এলিমেন্ট ললো এটা মই কি দেখাইছো এটা x এটা আৰবিট্ৰাৰি এলিমেন্ট লম সিম্পলিফাই কৰি আছো we have got this one that means composition of two onto function is also onto that means what you have got if the function both the functions are one on their composition is one on if the both the functions are onto then their composition is onto that means we have got that if f and z both are bijective that means both are one on and onto then their composition is also bijective দুইটা ফাংশন যদি one on and onto হৈ যায় then the composition to one on and onto হ'ব a function which is one on and onto both is known as bijective function এটা function one on and onto এটা bijective function বুলি কোৱা হয় that means what we have got that composition of two bijective function is also bijective দুটা ফাংশন যদি bijective function হয় individually তেতিয়াহলে তাৰ composition to bijective হ'ব already we have proved it composition of two one on function is also one on দুটা ফাংশন যদি onto হয় তাৰ composition to onto হয় That means what we have got? If F is 1 and onto both, that means if F is bisective and Z is bisective, then their composition Z not F is also bisective. We can easily prove it. Okay, I hope you are getting my point. Thank you so much for watching the video, and please go through it once again. Thank you.